Dust, collapse, rubble, sirens, incineration, anguish, blackness, grief, trauma, and destitution. These are the realities that Ukrainians have had to face hour by hour through 18 months of war. As hard as it is to picture, millions of citizens abandoned their homes, losing a lifetime of community and memories in a matter of weeks. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians are displaced within their own country with no means to access basic services like electricity or food or shelter. And in that darkness, life and love and care and compassion have become a beacon, a brilliant light of the kingdom to others outside, desperate for hope and reason. To us, 2022 was a new year of the same mission. Across Eurasia, we would supply resources for theological education and discipleship. We plan to celebrate 1 year of supporting the first translation work completed in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan at United Theological Seminary. And we look forward to hearing from our partners about their goals for the coming months. But immediately our focus shifted on February 24th, when Russia entered Ukraine. We'd been forewarned in January that a full-fledged war was possible, and now our entire staff discussed what Reed's response would be and how Ukraine is the heartland of Reed, and from here the printing, education, resourcing, and translation have spread outward to other countries. It was now ground zero for a humanitarian crisis. With no idea what would happen next, we watched God's unprecedented outpouring become a confirmation that a new need had arisen, and we are called to meet it. Major ports like Kremenchuk and Kyiv filled with new people who began to settle in with questions and concerns. Outside, the government could afford to run the army and economy, but nothing else. So people turned to the church for care. And suddenly, pastors and librarians were called to simultaneously address physical, emotional, and spiritual trauma. Through the Ukrainian Relief Fund, we were able to distribute 400,000 of humanitarian aid via our local partners. Dedicated communication from our staff led to over 125 new donors joining Reed for the first time, and the outpouring surpassed our entire budget for the year. God answered abundantly beyond all we asked or imagined. By late summer and early fall, there was a tremendous need for discipleship resources. Many internally displaced people became wide open to spiritual things, and people who had never touched an evangelical church. It was diligent, courageous, long-suffering work. Over 100 people were discipled in Kremenchuk alone. Alpha-style materials developed for our partners to teach on questions like, who is God and who is Jesus? And these were used to lead 100 people through a theology course and then another 50 more after. We encouraged our partners and their staff to take a break because people were flooding into the seminaries and colleges with many, many needs. These faithful servants were serving 24/7. We gave them money to ensure a Sabbath, and our friends at Kremenchuk rented a small house in the mountains, allowing each seminary family to head away for a while to rest. Many baptisms have also happened because people are finding God here in the midst of death and violence. So what happens next? Well, in May and June of this year, we asked many of our partners what they need now to carry on, and they answered, we need to deal with trauma. We will be dealing with it. We need to know how. God has led us to a Read 2.0 where our vision includes trauma care and healing. We'll do this through equipping and training trauma responders with the best resources Read can find. We believe the whole person is something to be cared for. As James wrote, if a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? Our ministry in 2022-23 has not looked like we thought, but has looked like we anticipated. The translation work in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and brand new copies of Charles Ryrie's Basic Theology have been done and printed. That book got done and dedicated this past fall. 3,000 copies of the Easter Sparrow were printed and dispersed in Poland and in Ukraine, despite the publisher's warehouse being blown up in Kyiv at the start of the war. An unbelievable fulfillment to academic pursuits and education has also been accomplished. Really young people are coming to join the new class at Kremenchuk Evangelical Seminary, and what was prepared for 15 to 20 people now has enrolled 35. There is a deep desire, an appetite, a fire to learn and grow, to equip themselves to serve and to go. Although Ukraine is being hit hard by a full-fledged war, we believe God will continue to provide them grace, peace, and healing to become one of the strongest, most significant sending churches among the nations. Now, Spring of Life Church in Kremenchuk will be planting a church soon, and they're planning and praying about where to do it. We will be praying with them as God continues to use Reed Ministries to reach all of Eurasia with the help of our fellow believers in Ukraine.